Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Tana, and welcome to Crypto Bible. I hope you are all well. Second upload of the day, and it's a pretty big one. It's a pretty big one. It's something that we have been speaking about for quite a long time, but it's something that we haven't brought up in a while either. Remember back in June with El Salvador and everything else, when there was so much talk about every South American country bringing Bitcoin as a legal tender or adopting Bitcoin in some kind of currency to use it within their country, and it's something that kind of died down ever since El Salvador announced it as a legal tender, right? Why did it die down? Well, you probably guessed it, because of the price action, right? Because ever since El Salvador announced it, Bitcoin kind of dropped quite a lot, and it's been in a dip for a long time, and only recently we have started grinding our way back up. And personally, obviously, my personal opinions is that these countries have probably already had done it, or they just hadn't announced it yet. They were waiting for price action to kind of get back to where they wanted it to be. So the excitement surrounding cryptocurrency and Bitcoin itself would have still been there. And that's why I believe this news is now coming out, and I believe we're going to be seeing a lot more of it come through. Because remember, when El Salvador announced it, you had other countries like Paraguay, obviously Cuba, which we're going to be talking about today, and so many others surrounding those countries right there. We're all speaking about basically doing the exact same thing, but we never really had any news come out of it. Of course, it didn't, like I said, because of the price action. But this is very bullish news nonetheless. Cuba does actually become the latest country to basically authorize and regulate cryptocurrencies. So it's not actually just Bitcoin. They've mentioned it as cryptocurrencies. So they seem to be moving in that direction as well. And it's very good to see, and hopefully this can carry on, because it could only be good news. It can only be good news. And let's have a quick read of it anyway. So Cuba becomes the latest country to authorize and regulate cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. So Cuba's government said on Thursday it will recognize and regulate cryptocurrencies for payment on the Caribbean island. A resolution published in the official Gazette said the country's central bank will set rules for such currencies and determine how to license providers of related services within Cuba. It comes as the Central American nation of El Salvador prepares to officially recognize the use of Bitcoin as a way to encourage remittances from its citizens living abroad when its crypto law comes into effect on September 7th. And that's actually something that I wanted to bring up, guys, because they said that they're going to announce it as a legal tender, El Salvador, of course. That's coming into effect in a week. In a week. So, I mean, when you think about it, when you think about all of this, the timing is just impeccable. And I don't know if this is going to be the case, right? But hear me out. El Salvador announced that Bitcoin was going to become a legal tender in June, just before Bitcoin obviously went on a little bit of a dip, right? Just before it kind of went spiraling down completely. Um, and then obviously they waited and waited until they actually launched it to become official. And just when Bitcoin is now regaining a bit of momentum, recovering from the dip that it was currently in, they decide to announce it on the 7th of September. Now, what kind of price action could we see by the 7th of September? My technical analysis that I've been doing on charts, and I'm not the best at it, I admit that, but everything points towards a bullish September, regardless of what people are saying in the history of September being quite a bearish month, right? I could be completely wrong. This ain't financial advice, right? It could be the worst September in the history of crypto. But the way things are going, to me, it looks like it's going to be good. So by the time it is announced as a legal tender, in El Salvador, where would the price of Bitcoin be at? It should be pretty good, because that's big news, isn't it? Anyway, you get where I'm coming at, but it's just quite interesting, isn't it? Let's carry on reading on anyway. The Cuban resolution, which will come into force on September 15th, regulates the use of certain virtual assets in commercial transactions, as well as the licensing of providers of these services in operations related to financial exchange and collection or payment activities in or from Cuban territory. The popularity of such currencies has grown among a technologically savvy group in Cuba, as it has become harder to use dollars, in part because of toughened embargo rules imposed under former President Donald Trump. So Bitcoin was actually already widely used in Cuba. The currencies, which can widely soar and depreciate in value, are mostly independent of any central bank and use widely distributed blockchain computer codes to keep track of transfers. Programmer Erich Garcia, a local cryptocurrency expert, told AP some Cubans are already using such devices, often via gift cards or online purchases. According to unofficial estimates, some 10,000 Cubans use Bitcoin, making it one of the most widely used cryptocurrencies in the country. Last May, President Miguel Diaz-Canel said his government was analyzing the appropriateness of using cryptocurrencies in the economy, in the economic operations of the country, whose GDP plunged by 11% in 2020 due to the tightening of the US embargo and the impact of COVID-19 pandemic. The resolution says the central bank can authorize the use of cryptocurrencies for reasons of socio-economic interest, but with the state assuring that their operations are controlled. It's also explicitly noted that operations could not involve illegal activities because they can be used for long distance transactions that are supposedly anonymous. They are often popular with people attempting to evade government regulations, presumably including US restrictions on sending money to places such as Cuba. So there you go. Again, like I said, very bullish news. And I'm hoping to see loads of other countries announce this. And to be honest with you, I think it will only come when price action is very bullish for Bitcoin, as we've seen in this example right here with El Salvador. It's like it was just meant to be. It's like it was programmed. Cool. Let's announce it when Bitcoin is really high, just before a dip, so everyone jumps on the bandwagon, and then they lose a lot of money because it's bullish news. This is very good. Bitcoin's going to the moon. And then as soon as they announce it, it actually then goes down, and it's been in a dip for the best part of 2 months, 2.5 months, and it's only just recovering. But let's actually make this a legal tender. Let's actually launch it on the 7th of September, just when Bitcoin and the market seems to be recovering. So I don't know, man. I mean, there's a lot of things pointing towards Bitcoin recovering. Obviously, I've done a video earlier regarding Solana and how it's just crossed $100 going on its own bull run. Is that the leader of the market? Is the rest of the market going to follow? I'm hoping so. It's not financial advice or anything, but it's looking that way, and I'm hoping it will. But look, a week in crypto is a very long time. A lot of things can happen. So let's see what does happen between now and the 7th of September, when El Salvador do actually announce it as a legal tender. It will be interesting to see what the price is of Bitcoin when that does happen. And we'll revisit this subject when that does happen. And yeah, I'll let you know what my opinion is. Anyway, hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure your bell icon's turned on so you don't miss any other uploads, guys. And I'll see you very, very soon. Take it easy, people.